Hello Nigerians, welcome to another beautiful edition of Editors Forum. As we all know, Editors Forum is a program where we get to have distinguished journalists, public affairs analysts to sit on the table and have diverse conversations about issues going on in the country. My name is Menwarangi Mazak, and once again you're welcome to the program. So quickly, before I introduce my guest with me in the studio and as well start the conversation, we'll quickly love to go through this report, which of course ushers us into our first discussion. So enjoy. All right, welcome back to the studio. So I have with me here in the studio, I have Mr. Felix Olorunda and I have Mr. Sunday Dibashi. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being in the studio with me once again.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you for the pleasure to be here.
Yeah, so it's been a very a week filled with activities, you know, starting with the celebration of Eid al-Kabir, you know, down to different things going on in different parts of the country. But looking at all the activities and, you know, things that's been going on in the country, what exactly has struck you the most? Let's start with Mr. Sunday.
Well, I think there are two significant issues.
Okay.
The crisis in Rivers State, the dimension it took after the action of the government, then the counter-action of the Nigerian police.
Okay.
All right, and it's unfortunate that Mr. President could have put such an action for a cause which he fought when he was governor in 2006 against the federal, you know, to allow governors to, you know, have control when he created a local government council. So that he's approving such an action, it means that democracy is in danger. The police should know that local government, issues of local government is within the jurisdiction of governors of the state and not the federal. And therefore, the sealing off the local government secretariat is uncalled for, especially when the tenure of the former local chairman has elapsed. No man on earth has the power in Nigeria to say you extend the tenure of an executive. It's just like if the president, your tenure has expired and you say the National Assembly, you know, have extended your tenure. What constitution are you operating? In what country? Look at the issue in Kano again, because this is an issue we're also talking. The specificity of the functions of government. That issue of a traditional institution is within the purview of the state government and not the federal. So that the governor has made a decision, you know, he said, ask about it. Let's not discuss about his decision and not to counter his powers. Whether right or wrong, we'll discuss that. So the going to the federal, using the federal might to now say we are annulling the reinstated emir is unnecessary. I think it's also unconstitutional. It's illegal for me.
All
so
right.
the court should not be partisan in all these things. The police should not be partisan in handling national issues.
All right. Let's have Mr. Felix. So
well,
what
see, these are very political issues, and you know, Parliament. These people are politicians. They will always play politics. The unfortunate is that they play politics with everything. That's the problem that I have with them.
Including things that shouldn't
everything that should not be politicized is being politicized. And I don't think we may not be right to ascribe it to the president, because some of the things that are done, with the benefit of hindsight, because I have people who work very closely with these people, is that some of these things that are done, only done in the name of the president or with perception that the president have. You see, let's take the issue of Rivers State. You will expect, what I expect the Rivers State governor to do is to anything that will make you to resolve that issue politically. And some of the pronouncement of the governor is not helping the issue. I will listen on the television with some our enemy. You are now the governor. So you have to know how you, some of the pronunciation does not help the matter. It kind of inflates. So I expect that, look, you know how you became governor. You know how many people were benched for you. If I see you have that qualification to be governor. Some people, you know, the fight that the former governor, I'm not supporting the former governor, the fight that he fought to make you governor. So many people that were politically aligned, they have to silence, they have to, you know, cancel whatever plan they have. Now you are governor, so you must know that you have to do something, political engineering that you have to do to make sure that we resolve that matter politically. Not inflaming it and now blame that, oh, the president. The IG can take action without having to get approval.
No, but he must get approval
to make sure,
because everything ends with executive lawlessness. And if that is it's on the head of the president and not the IG.
All right.
So it becomes an executive action.
All right,
I'm concerned about the constitutional aspect, not the politics.
All right.
We are being political.
Yes. All right, so let's quickly move into the topic for today. the Nigeria Police Force and the Police Service Commission tussle. I'm sure we are all familiar with the whole, yes. So the Police Service Commission came out, of course, with a list of constables, you know, and then the IGP came out with an allegation that, you know, corruption in the process and all. But gentlemen, let me get your view on this, because it looks like it's the police force versus the police service commission. But do you think there's more to this issue than just, you know, this whole recruitment process? Do you think there's more to it than meets the eye?
This is not the first time.
Of course.
That we're having this
Which
issue.
is the reason why
so, you will expect that an issue as petty as the issue of recruiting people into the police force, at the lowest rank. Because I've tried time to study the PS Police Service Commission, their powers and all of that, the act that set them up. They said, apart from the IG, they have the power of appointment, promotion, and discipline, and the management of the police force, Nigerian police force. So the PSC is the one that has the power to recruit. Okay, but you expect that they will discharge that duty in synergy with Nigerian police force, because people are going to work under the Nigerian, they are not going to work under the PSC. Their day-to-day supervision and management is going to be under the Nigerian police force, right? But you have the power to recruit, you have the power to appoint. But because they are going to be managed on a day-to-day basis, their operation, their promotion, recommendation, where they are going to serve, everything, it has to be by the Nigerian police, not by the PSC. So you now expect that they will form a committee to do the recruitment. They work together.
But exactly what I want to say.
That's what you expect.
Not
so that means they are not working together, because you remember that the PSC is populated by civilians, civil servants who are there to discharge duty. And this, okay, so, and you know that in that kind of our environment, when you have to appoint or recruit 10,000 police constables, you know generally our attitude in Nigeria. Somebody who is in that position want to put his family, want to put his friends, church members, and all of that. Which those people will come in. Because now it's my turn. Okay, I want people from my village to come in. I want people from my church to come in. People know that I work there. I am high up in the system there in PC. I want to influence. So I'm not. That's what I'm feeling, because it's not the first time. So I have to go research deep into this conflict. Because even the former IG, they have the same problem with the former PSC chairman. Now, that's why we are not solving the national security problem in Nigeria. Because an issue as recruitment, as having the military. I know when I was recruiting the army, you don't have to, the army are the one that will recruit directly, because we are going to work with them. And there's an army council. The army council does not see day-to-day supervision of how you do your work. So you go to the military, you sign on board the form, they go for physical medical check. When you are qualified, they recruit you. But now, the allegation is that the PSC, after they have done the recruitment, the police management brought in 1,000 that didn't, appear for interview and all of that. How did they get their way to? So, and the police is saying there's corruption and all of that. Because it's the ability to work together. We can reference something. Even that 9/11 in the US, that bombing of the Twin Towers. Do you know what it came to? It came to the lack of collaboration within the security agencies. That's what allowed that gap. And that's what we are seeing. If the PSC and the police management cannot work together on an issue of recruitment to people that will serve, then what do you expect? Because this will affect the national security.
All right, let's have Mr. Son. So do you also feel that this is actually what we think it is? Is there more to it? Is it actually really a recruitment issue, or there's a deeper problem underneath it?
I think there is a national cancer that is besetting Nigeria.
Okay.
Just like I mentioned about the earlier other issues, there is no clear demarcation of who performs what function. All right? One man will want to subsume the function of another man.
But is it not constitutional that the
police says so? Yes,
the police commission are in charge of that.
I think there's an extent to which the IG, but I will need to conduct further study.
Okay.
There's an extent to which the IG play more role in the recruitment of junior officers at the level of constables.
But together with the service
commission, the IG play more role, all right? After which they get the PSC to approve. But when it is the higher officers, it comes from the PSC on the recommendation of the IG.
Okay.
So in all this, the greater role to be played in the recruitment of junior officers should come from the office of the IG. All right? Then you can now complement it with the PSC. All right? And that again does not rule out the Federal Character Commission to make sure that this reflects the federal character of the country. Character. You get it? Now, we are now having a process of the PSC overrunning the IG and the IG now kicking. All right? So internal conflict. So who intervenes? All right? So it's a complication of our institutions that lack autonomy, that lack independence, and there is no demarcation or functional specification. Because every act has attached functions and who plays what role. It should be clear to both parties where one starts and where your own role ends. Then the other one takes off from there. And I think that is where we're having crisis.
But don't you think it is clear, but it's just a situation of the two parties not coming to an agreement? But coming back to what you said, just as you asked, so with this whole tussle going on, who should be the one to come in, between and merge up, or how will I put it? I'm sure you know what I'm saying.
They can still handle it internally.
Okay.
By saying, okay, we sit down.
Because it doesn't look like the two parties are
ready to settle.
Exactly, are ready to settle. It looks like they need a third party.
That's the goal we're having in Nigerian government. I am this, I am that.
I am that.
I will not agree. You will not agree. They will keep inflecting conflicts. Like he mentioned about the comments of the governor. This one wants to show, this one wants to show. But let them look at what the law says. Who is to recruit from the level of junior officers and who is to handle promotion of the senior officers?
No, I think it has the matter previously, because I did the extensive research, like I said, even went in the former administration, even went as far as taking themselves to court. I think maybe the PSC took the IG court, and it went as far as Supreme Court to say, look, is it the role? I think that one is not in conflict. The PSC have the powers to recruit, to appoint, promote, discipline. They have that role. The only person that is not subject to their control is the IGP, because according to our law, it's the president that has the powers to appoint the IGP, subject to the approval of the Senate. That one is not within the powers of the PSC. So, but from the DIG down, they have the power to discipline, to promote, to approve whatever, and to manage them on a day-to-day. So, but you will expect that. But what has been happening in the past is that you have PSC chairman who they are former retired IGP. So if you have that understanding to say, okay, I'm former IGP, I know how this thing works. So you can see that role power to the IG to say, look, we want to recruit, they'll come to you for approval. We need also number of constables, and you can, and the PSC chairman can say, being a former IG himself, can say, okay, let's form a committee. Maybe some members from the PSC at the highest level and whatever operational people that will do recruitment. We are go ahead, go to the field, design the whatever you want to do, and go ahead and do it. So it depends on who is the chairman of the PSC. But if the chairman of the PSC feel that, look, it's our duty, when we recruit, we'll pass the number to you. You go and train and employ them.
No, I don't think it goes that way.
Okay, but I'm coming, just so you could include it to what you're about to say. Some people also feel that this whole thing has something to do with the recent sack of the former chairperson of the PSC, I think Solomon Arase. Yes. Do you also see it in that line?
I don't think that is
okay, you don't think it has anything
I don't think it has anything
to
to do. That one is gone, is gone. The new chairman is there, appointed by the president. So I don't think it has anything to do with that. So they have to. So the man has to carry his cross. The incumbent chairman has to carry his cross. But the point is this, because I still think so that at the level, because there are two levels of recruitment. You have the direct system where you have the cadetry level, right, and the private. And I do know it is the IG who recommends the promotion at the lower level to the PSC, the commission, who now approves and is made public. I think the last controversy was when the IG promoted at the high level, independently, without the approval of the PSC. That was a contention there, a former IG. But this time around, we're not having a recruitment coming from the lower level, which, like I said, the IG has a greater role to play at this level. If the contention is to be at the higher level, would I say, okay, is it PSC?
No, that's an assumption. That's not what the law says. You have to speak. Some of us, we have to resign to this to know what the law says. You see, this is not the first time. I said this matter went as far as Supreme Court, even with the former PSC chairman, not Arazi now. They dragged this issue of recruitment of constables. Why should the recruitment of constables into the police be an issue that is dragged like this? That's to tell that something is wrong with the system. People have to come out of whatever they are doing to know that, look, this affects our national security. Because if we cannot recruit people into our police system as low as constable, because when they want to recruit for higher office, like they go to academy, okay, there's police academy in Kano, and you take the exam. There's an exam, you write the exam, you pass, you go for interview. When you pass the interview, there's a quota system. Is it tented from each state? Everything is designed, if it's going to the academy. When you go to the academy, you spend 5 years there, you will become ASP or whatever, you become from officer's cadre. But when I'm talking of the junior cadre, the PSC still have the power. But they will always be decided that power in synergy with the PSC and the IGPs, or the IGP management of the police. They will always be one. That's why we don't have this noise before. It's now the personality of those who are occupying those two offices. The IGP, the RSA is former IGP, so he has sat on that table before. Now you have a new IGP. This IGP must have even work under the former IGP. You know the way the system is. So it's understanding these two and be able to work together, because at the end of the day, these people are going to work for Nigeria. They are going to work for the security of this nation. So they should not be conflict even getting them the system. But now the IG management of the police saying that the PSC is now the one alleging that 1,000 strange names were put into that list. They were not even, they didn't pass through the interview, they didn't pass through all the processes, they just find out that the name is there. And that's why they are calling for this. So it speaks to the larger picture of not being able to organize a system, not be able to work together in Nigeria. And that's why we are what we are.
Okay, can we look at the recruitment process? So the IGP was alleging that the exercise had a lot of corruption and irregularities. I mean, we're Nigerians. This is Nigeria. We know how some. I'm sure this is not the first time we're hearing of such. We've had issues. We've seen times where someone has to pay for a job. Yes, you pay, or there's an agreement that a part of your first salary will be given, and all of that. So let's look into this recruitment part of it. We're not saying that the IG is right. But I mean, we know that we've been hearing, of such things. And this is the police force we're talking about. Imagine them bringing in someone that is not qualified, or because probably he paid for it, and all. And then you are now handing this person a weapon. You're giving this person responsibility of safeguarding lives and property, someone that is not qualified in the first place. So let's just look at the recruitment process. Could it probably just be that, the IG must have maybe heard something with how the process has been, the irregularities and all. All right, Mrs. Sunday.
Yeah, it's okay. As we are resting the other perspective, when I earlier said the function of this, it's not exclusive. Whatever is the role of the IG is not exclusive of what the PSC is doing, and whatever the PSC is doing, it's not exclusive of what the IG is doing. So they have to be collaboration. And that's what's like. That's why we're having this controversy. So it's not like it's an exclusive. Now coming to the process now, I think it raises question about transparency, about recruitment into the police force, and what the institutions are doing. I followed the report. Even when they advertised, I published it. To bring it to public knowledge for those who've been interested. So I keep on pushing it up. So I saw the guidelines, all the requirements and whatever. Both those who have trades and others who do not have, So there were even exemptions, for some persons. So you now look at the recruitment process, and now IG is alleging corruption. I do not have the facts, So I may not authoritatively speak.
I think it is, okay, yes. I think
Yes.
it's
Yeah, they say they say AG, they say
Yes,
it should
he
prove.
did.
Yes.
So I don't know how they facts, so I cannot really speak authoritatively. But generally, you know, Nigeria is plagued by this issue of, you know, you have to pay for a job. Since the rate of
Especially now that we have very limited job offers,
the jobs are limited
opportunities.
and the unemployment rate is very high. So even the private sector is going down. So the public sector is now providing the job, and very few jobs and millions of applicants. So many people chasing. So you got to, you know, I've had instances where some governors, let me just put that, the beneficiaries just came to me and say their governors went to Abuja to pick appointment letter for them in their state. And they count that as an achievement for the governor.
Or members of their parliament.
You know, they count that as an achievement. No, I'm not talking at the level of governors.
Okay.
Appointment letter for recruitment to the civil service. And they count that as achievement for
We
their
have
for
got
their
also
governors.
number of people to the civil service.
Yes, you know,
as an achievement.
You see an achievement. So
My God.
then you have not talked about the lawmakers. Okay?
Consistency.
In the constituencies and all that. Even in my own constituency, the lawmakers also had to go and pick people for recruitment for police. So it shows that if you are not loyal to even politicians in this country, let's be very specific, you may not have a chance of getting a job. So the IG may not be far from the truth. He may not be far from the truth. Because these are daily occurrences. If you can come from the level of the governor, so you can imagine what you now go at the ordinary. You've not even talked of those who are jobbers, who will tell you, oh, I know this,
Yes.
give me 50 million. In fact, at a time, somebody went to a lawmaker to ask for 2 million. And the lawmaker was like, he looked and looked. He has to do it. He has to give money. The reward they requested to recruit somebody to the federal civil service. And the lawmaker came, he was lamenting. Say, how can in this country? So the IG may not be far from the truth. Because millions of people are chasing very few jobs in the public sector. And you may be right. I don't have the facts, so I cannot speak
of course,
until we get that.
Yes, Mr. Felix.
Yes, okay. I think if I understand the issue very well, the PSC is the one, because I listened to the press conference of, I think the union leader and the charge of PSC, asking the PRO of police to prove the allegation that
bring forth evidence.
It's full of corruption, and they are saying that 1,000 names from the police that did not participate in the recruitment process found their way into the final list, or those who are going to be trained. So, but I think, if you ask me, in my own view, I think it should be the police management that should be saddled with that recruitment of people, of constables into the police. I think that power should be ceded to them completely, because if the PSC should be, should busy themselves with the promotion, appointment of officers, senior officers, who come out of the academy, I think they should trust the police management with recruitment of constable, because I know that purely the PSC, they should, so that there's that delegation of duty, of power, so that you want to recruit. That's why I reference that to military that I'm aware of. You don't hear that there's any service commission that helps in the recruitment of the military, the Air Force. If you want to go to the Air Force, the Navy, they have their own academy. Okay? The NDA is there. You want to join the military as an officer, go to the NDA. You want to join from the lower rank, you go through the depot, training depot. And they have their own way of recruiting people, and they base it on merit, health issue, and all of that. So you don't hear of this. This is not the first time we're hearing of this from the police. And this may not even be the last. So depending on who will become the next chairman and the next circle of recruitment to the police. So it's something they have to clean up. And the two of the Police Service Commission, they are all agencies of the federal government. So they must be seen working together in the interest of national security. That's what I'm pushing.
So generally now,
No, if you ask me, I'll be on the side of the IG.
Okay.
Because like I said, I was reporting this process. It was the state command that was issuing notice of the exercise in the whole state. Yes. From Edo to state. It's not the PSC. It was the state command of the Nigerian police that were issuing notice about the proceedings.
Lagos government keep announcing it.
They will give you the date and where you are to report to. And that those who are selected, who know who will selected, will proceed to the next stage. It wasn't the PSC. It was the state command under the IG.
But in Lagos State, I heard over and over again.
Right. So
Lagos State government, through the office of secretary to the government, telling people, you want to join police, come and this thing, come to the secretariat. You know, I don't know.
So these are no, I'm talking about the selection process and when it started. The Edo State, for instance, gave a date, number of dates, exact date, and where people should gather for the physical appearance and what they should come with. Ogun State the same thing, and the various states. It wasn't the PSC. So if the office of the IG is not handling the recruitment process, why should the PSC be the one recruiting? In the first instance, because all the state commands,
what's in the Constitution?
all the state commands,
in the act.
And that's the confusion. That's the question: the quality of lawmakers you have in this country. No, that's the truth. The question: the quality of lawmakers we have in this country. Why should you make a law that will be so controversial, that will be dividing public institution of the government, causing confusion?
But if the police force had an issue with that, wouldn't they have brought it up way
They've
back?
amended this act over and over. No, they have amended this act over and over. Because like you said something now, my knowledge in the past was that it's the IG recruit and sent to the PSC. Now if this and other they have amended over and over, and now it's the PSC that recruits everybody, what will the IG be doing? What will he be doing? The question is quality of lawmakers. Because I remember when Sanusi was a CBN governor, he took an action and he went to the National Assembly. And they said, where did you get the power to do what you... I said, I got the power from the law that you made. And he cited, it was an act of National Assembly. So we question to a great extent the quality of lawmakers and also the quality of our elections.
All right, gentlemen, all right, I think with that we'll wrap up for the first discussion, and we hope that this whole tussle between the two parties will be resolved as soon as possible, because I mean the security of our nation right now is, it's not something to allow any little issue come in between.